In this episode, Chrysler's Fake Ballers, Ricky Bobby Finish, and Cowboy Nerds. Welcome to episode 59 of the We Are Auto Show. What's new, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell, I was out and about, and with my wife, I asked her, what really grinds your gears?
Oh.
And then she went on for like 25 straight minutes, just rambling off things that grind her gears when we're going driving. And I was like, holy moly.
There's a lot of gear grinding going on there.
There's a whole lot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, I got one.
Okay.
So, me being a gasoline-crushed fish dinosaur lover.
That's you.
I still use that good old-fashioned thing called a gas pump, right? Mm-hmm. Or if we lived in Europe or England, more specifically, a petrol station.
The petrol.
Yes, so I recently popped into a gas station. It has like 20 pumps. This is a big-ass gas station, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm circling all the pumps, and I'm circling, and I'm circling, and I'm looking, and I'm looking, and I'm circling, and every single one is taken.
All of them?
Every single 20
All 20?
of them. Every single one is taken.
Yikes.
So I'm like just at this point getting visibly frustrated, and some 4-letter fire truck words are starting to flow freely. Because, of course, this is only going to happen when you're kind of in a rush and you're like, damn, I really need some gas right now.
Yes.
But not only were all the pumps taken, what grinds my gears is when all the pumps are taken, but everyone is not actually pumping gas. They're all in the gas station convenience store doing their grocery shopping for their family of 12.
Yes.
Coming out with bread and milk and eggs and peanut butter and then that lotto ticket and a carton of cigarettes and everything that they buy while they're leaving their car that's not actively pumping at the pump while all of the other pumps are currently taken, and I am dying because I need gas.
I'm sure that all of the parking spaces around the facility were also wide open.
Oh, 100%. Like, there was like 8 parking spaces that were completely, perfectly open. Could have been used by anyone in any kind of a vehicle whatsoever. But no. We park in front of the pump where people are needing to pump gas. And they then proceed to pump their 3 gallons of gas, walk inside, and then buy literally everything. And I'm just getting angry at that point. So that grinds my gears is if you go into a gas station, you can leave your car at the pump if you run into pee and or get a singular cup of coffee. If you're doing anything else inside the gas station, the actual convenience store, other than a pee and a coffee, you need to move your vehicle and park in a regular parking spot. If you're doing a number 2 in there, you got to go in and pull up a park spot. Just saying.
I could not agree more.
So that's my grinds my gears.
I like that one.
So, yeah. You want to move on?
Let's do it, buddy.
Okay,
we got some news to chat about.
We do have some news to chat about. We have some news to chat about with Lamborghini.
The Italian brand.
Yes, a real Italian treat, as they would say, right? So, Lambo has got a new Huracan. First and foremost, another Huracan. This is starting to sound...
We got a lot of those.
A lot of Porsche 911-ish here.
Yeah.
So, Lamborghini has now come out with the new 2023 Huracan. I think I'm going to say it's probably Tecnica, or I don't know if it's supposed to be a soft C or a hard C, as they would say.
I don't know.
But they've got this new Huracan Tecnica. It's got a completely redesigned face. Like, it actually doesn't look like any of the other Huracans. Would you agree with that, first and foremost?
It does look different.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Completely redesigned front end.
Does look different.
It's because it's quite different, actually. Now, to go a little further into this new Huracan Tecnica, it's supposed to fit between the Evo rear-wheel drive and the STO in their range of Huracans. So the STO, the Super Trofeo Omologata, that's like the hot track ready. That's like the GT3 RS, right? Mm-hmm. Then the Evo rear-wheel drive is supposed to kind of be like, I don't know, maybe like the GT3 of it. Maybe not even the GT3, maybe like a GTS or something, if we're equating this to 911 speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is supposed to slot between them.
Okay.
I'm just a little confused here.
So it's not base. It's not
No, and the Evo's not base. Because the base is the LP580-2, which is rear-wheel drive and 580-ish horsepower.
So it's just like a tad bit of not race car.
Yeah, it's like they're touting it as like a livable STO that you can almost daily drive. But I'm just confused. I'm just really, really confused. It uses that same 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V12, or pardon me, V10 that's in all the Huracans and the R8. So it's got the same 5.2 liter V10, right? Mm-hmm. But it's got the same tuning that they put on the STO, where it develops 630 horsepower. So it's as hot in terms of tuning with the V10 as the STO. I mean, you still get 417 pound-feet of torque. Same 7-speed dual clutch. The thing is that it's rear-wheel drive. So it's like an STO, but I don't know. I'm just confused. I'm just confused.
This feels like Ford just adding another F-150 to the lineup.
It does.
Really does.
It's like Ford that added the Rattler and the Tremor. Yeah. It feels like Porsche adding the Carrera S, GTS, Like, it just seems like there's just another Huracan. Like,
it'll probably sell, but...
Oh, it'll definitely sell. I mean, it does look different.
Yeah, I will say, from the front, it looks very different. From the back, it looks...
a bit different.
It's the hexagonal exhausts are kind of odd, but it doesn't look that different from the back, comparatively.
Yeah, so let me give you a little update on what the new aero has done. So apparently the face and all this and all the new aero on the rear and the underneath and everything is supposed to improve the brake cooling and save a bunch of life in the brake pads. And in the rear, it's got this it's got a wing, but it's not a huge wing. It's a small wing that is supposed to contribute 35% more downforce compared to the Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive. But also way more subtle than the big wang you get on the STO.
It's very subtle.
It's also got apparently new deflectors underbody that cut the drag by like 20% over the Evo. But the real oddness here is that it's 2.4 inches longer. What?
And just
okay. I'm confused.
All right.
I'm just... Yeah, okay. I mean, wait.
Sure.
What? So they gave the Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive a little bit of aero and some Viagra. Is what it sounds like. I'm just very confused here. It does have some rear-wheel steering aspect to it, so interesting, but not like obviously steering, more like tilting, right?
Right.
It has a little bit more storage than the STO. Great. STO is pretty much a track car for the road. It does 0 to 60 in 3.2 versus the STO, which is 2.8 seconds, and it is estimated at just a hair under 3,500 pounds.
Okay.
But now I have a real question for you. What's the point of it?
I don't know. It's the Rattler of the...
I'm so confused.
The Lamborghini Huracan.
But hold on a second, because the Huracan already had the Performante.
Right.
So we had... Let me run you through kind of the Huracan life.
Okay.
Started out life as an LP610-4, all-wheel drive only. Then they came out with they did the 580-2, which became the new base model. Then they did a couple special editions, like, I don't know, they did like a VO or something like that, which is just like a race. They had a livery on it. Then they did the Performante, which was the hot version they tested on Grand Tour, had that same V10. They all use the same 5.2 liter V10. The Performante has been one of my favorite Lamborghinis for a long time, to be honest with you. Had that forged carbon fiber wing on the back. Really cool. Loved that car. Then they had the Evo and the Evo rear-wheel drive. And now they had the STO, and now they have the Tecnica. To me, wouldn't the Performante have already slotted between the Evo and the STO?
Yeah, it already does. But let me ask you this question. Why does Ford have 1 million trims? Why does Porsche have 1 million trims of the 911? Because they sell.
You're right.
That's the end. That's all that matters to them.
I mean, you're right.
If they're going to sell, they're going to make it. It doesn't matter where they slot it into their lineup.
You're right. It just seems like, what's the point of it? Like, I just don't. I also personally don't really like the look of it.
It's kind of, it's a Lamborghini. It'll fit on the poster in the wall if you want it to. If you're young, that's fine. To us,
but does it though? Is this picture yourself as a young 13-year-old Derek? Would you put this on your wall?
If my mom handed it to me and put it on the wall for me, sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
But this wouldn't be the Lamborghini that you initially reached for to be like, wow, I want that.
No, it'd probably be the top of the line one.
Either be the STO or the Aventador SVJ, right?
Right. Which are
it's just
ridiculous.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it.
It looks okay. It's a Lamborghini Huracan.
I mean, it's fine, but I'm just like, why?
Why would they not? Why they
because
want money?
kill it already.
No.
It should be dead.
Okay, would you rather them come out with this or the EV version of this?
No, I want them to just keep making what they already have.
So they make another one and then you question that.
Well, yeah, of course, because I question. Derek, leave me alone.
It's because it's going to sell. That's the only reason that they're making it.
Yeah, I suppose.
It'll just be an easy plug and play for them, I guess. I don't know. Tweak
Still,
some arrows, sell it for another expensive amount, and people will buy it.
I don't know. You're
It's
right.
a hot thing.
It just seems odd.
It is odd.
I don't like it. I would rather have the older Performante, which is all-wheel drive, versus the Tecnica.
Would you rather have this or the Ford F-150 Rattler?
I would rather have
Ooh,
the Raptor R that's coming.
ooh.
But I can't say to that. Actually, no, I'd rather have the Lamborghini, obviously. But
Okay.
you get what I'm saying with that.
Yes.
So that's the new Lamborghini, the 2023 Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica with the exact same V10 that's in the STO and all the other ones.
Just slot it in there and let it sell, baby.
Yeah, so apparently this is the new livable STO that's more than the Evo but less than the STO. So, yeah, shall we move on?
Let's move on to something else weird.
Okay.
There was something that happened down in Tesla land in Texas.
Tejas. Okay.
Yeah. Tesla had a party in Texas.
Good for them.
Did you happen to hear anything about this?
Not really.
Okay. Tesla's kind of an odd car company. They do these parties whenever they come out with stuff.
True.
Whenever they did their Cybertruck release, it was just a giant party. Whenever they did their Model 3 release, it's a giant party. They like to have their giant parties. So I guess this time they said, well, our Giga Texas plant, which is their giant facility down in Texas that's building all their new Tesla vehicles, is opening. So we're going to throw a party. So they did. And Elon got up on stage and he said, I'm not going to break the window this time of my Cybertruck. And he didn't actually break the window, but they did joke about it. And people were kind of expecting some interesting things to come of this for them to like.
Well, this is in Texas. Wouldn't this not be a party? This would be a hoedown?
Yeah, it would be a hoedown, sure. They expected people to be able to like.
I'm just saying, I'm looking at a picture of Elon walking around the car and he's wearing a goddamn cowboy hat.
Yes.
This is a hoedown.
Yes.
This is like a weird new age EV hippie hoedown thing.
In Texas. It's kind of odd.
I'm just so flabbergasted.
This is so up your alley. It's unbelievable.
Oh, the cowboy hat sure is. The truck factor is, but the fact of what? No.
You're saying the EV truck is just too good for you? Okay. What people were expecting is for them to come on stage and actually like talk about interesting things. They kind of didn't. They didn't really say anything. They said that we're going to be bringing out our Cybertruck and our semi-truck in 2023, and that's in Tesla time or in Elon time, which means like probably 2025. Because every time he sets a date for anything, it's just like add 2 years, and that's when it'll actually happen.
Is that the way Elon works?
Yes.
I haven't actually paid any attention to it.
Yes. It's called Elon time for a reason, yes.
That's an actual phrase?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The people of the
wow.
internet have deemed it Elon time.
So I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, no. It's definitely a thing.
So when you pulled this up and I saw that where it said 2023, I was like, oh, okay, that's soon. But that's not actually what that means.
No. Okay, that's what Elon will say on stage.
But that's not what it means.
No.
Okay.
That's not what reality will entail. No. They're going to run into manufacturing problems and yada, yada, yada. I do believe that Cybertruck should be produced in this facility. And they are producing Model Ys right now in this facility. And from what I've heard, like the way that they've done the manufacturing facility and they've actually laid it out, it's pretty efficient and pretty good. And that's coming from people who used to work at like Ford and Chevy and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool, I guess.
Good for them.
But yeah, Elon time, definitely a thing. It's going to be, I believe that Model Ys are coming out of the plant now, and they are actually producing a ton of cars. I think they hit 300,000 last year, which is not bad.
There's 300,000 people that are buying these Teslas.
Oh, you go on pre-order right now. Yeah. You go on reserve right now
Jesus
if you want a Tesla.
Christ.
It takes you a month to get one.
Yeah.
You cannot go to the Tesla dealership and buy one right now off the floor,
Yeesh.
which that doesn't exist anyway. The Tesla dealership's just online.
Well, they do have kind of a dealership there.
They
They have a storefront in a mall.
Yes, but they cannot sell you the car there. You have to buy it online.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they would just like walk you through the online process of ordering the car. And they will let you drive a car. They will let you test drive a car. But you cannot take it home from that point.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Long story short, nothing really happened here. They said, we're doing these things. It's going to happen. And everybody said, yeah, bullshit, Elon time. He said back, 5 years ago that they would have people on Mars by now? They don't even have the rocket to go to Mars by now. So it's trust me.
I don't pay attention to anything that comes out of EV land.
I know. Give it 2 more years and we'll probably actually see Cybertrucks on the road. And they said self-driving is coming next year. They said that for the last 5 years. We'll see about that.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So that was down in Texas.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Don't really want that.
Nothing super important.
Okay.
So, did anything else happen?
Something else did happen that is a bit more up your alley again.
Mm-hmm. What might that be?
But it's some Honda news. Honda, those Japanese brand, is promising us some new sports cars that are electric.
Okay.
One of which is supposed to be the successor to the NSX.
The successor to the NSX.
Yeah, so we knew that the current NSX, the NSX Type S, is pretty much the last NSX that we were going to get that has any internal combustion in it, right? Even though it's a hybrid.
We happened to see one of those recently, too.
We did, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But they've announced that the NSX's successor is pretty much for sure going to be an EV.
Okay.
Right. It's pretty much like for sure going to be an EV.
Okay.
So Honda teased 2 electric sports cars. They didn't say when they'd arrive. One of them is got a mid-engine profile, which we're all expecting to be the NSX.
Right.
Under like their little tarp that they put over everything. And the other one, they called it a specialty car. And it looks kind of front engine-y.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that they came out, the terms that they used were the flagship and the specialty.
The flagship being the NSX Successor, whatever they want to call that.
Yep.
And then the specialty.
Yep. Agreed. And apparently Honda says that both cars are going to embody Honda's universal sports mindset. Great. Thank you so much for this. Wow.
All right. We'll see how unique they can actually make it if they're just going to go down like the EV skateboard path anyway. Because
I mean, they in the same announcements, they also they actually came out and they were like confirmed that they're going to partner with GM to be making batteries and stuff. So yeah,
it's going to be the what did GM call their EV platform? I can't remember the name of it right now.
The Prologue? No, that's what Honda's going to be calling their future. I don't remember. Either way, they pretty much confirmed, we'll be partnering with GM to do batteries and stuff. So my question to you is, what are you more excited about? The flagship, most likely NSX, or the very mysterious specialty?
The specialty is going to be a minivan, and it's going to be great.
Well, they've teased for a while. I like where your head's at, but they have teased for a while that there would be like a baby NSX coming.
Ooh.
Are we going to get like a front-end baby NSX, or is it going to be, are you ready for my theory?
Yeah.
An S2000.
Ooh.
An S2000 EV is my theory. If it's got more of a
I
front engine kind of layout.
I do like that theory.
I have a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be the flagship of the NSX and then a specialty, whatever it is, which I haven't announced yet. But I'm guessing it's going to be kind of S2000-ish. So what are you more excited about?
I actually think it would be the specialty. If it was the S2000, I'd be more excited about that.
Well, we don't know. So does the mystery intrigue you? Or does the fact that you're getting an EV NSX intrigue you more?
I don't think the EV NSX really intrigues me very much.
Not me neither.
I do like EVs, but like it's going to be on their GM. I think it's called Ultium. I think that's what they called their platform for EV stuff. Anyway, it's just going to be a skateboard of a battery and some electric motors, and then they're going to put a body on top of whatever they want, as long as it passes the EPA crash testing NHTSA stuff. So, like, Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm more curious about the mysterious one.
Yes, you're intrigued by the mystery.
Really hoping for a minivan. Don't know why, but I'm really hoping for one.
I know you are looking to try out some kids here soon, so you've heard it here. Derek is going to buy an EV Honda minivan when he has kids.
Dude, that EV Honda Odyssey?
Oh, my God.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, my God. Who are you? Oh, my God.
All right, we should move on.
Let's move on from the mystery of the EV Honda minivan that you're wanting.
Mm-hmm. There was some racing that happened. There's actually a ton of racing that happened this past weekend.
There wasn't some. All of the racing happened this weekend.
Let's try to get through some of it pretty quickly because it's going to take a bit.
Okay.
Let's start upside down in Australia.
Straya, mate!
Where F1 was.
Okay.
This was the first time they were back at their track that got changed a little bit.
A revised Albert Park.
Yeah, since they were last there. The overall race was pretty darn good. I believe that it was Ferrari on pole with a Red Bull behind. And the race started and some shenanigans happened. Basically, all you need to know is that Max Verstappen's Red Bull decided to poop out on him and start catching fire. So he pulled it off to the side of the track and retired the car.
Bro, Red Bull, what? Oh, my God.
Yeah, that means that Verstappen is now one win out of one race that he's finished and has not DNF'd in 2 other races. It's only been 3 races this season. He's DNF'd in 2 of them. Yeah, not good. Not good.
That's not good. Especially world champ.
I know. Now,
Sheesh.
Ferrari with Charles Leclerc was on pole, and he did take the win.
Oh, so Ferrari is freaking killing it this season.
Ferrari's killing it. They're in the lead in everything right now. They're doing very good. George Russell comes in second place.
Above his Hamiltonness?
Above Lewis Hamilton. And Hamilton he had some choice words at the end of the event with some reporters where he said, the team put me in a very precarious situation with George Russell being in front or something along those lines. Basically implying that he should have been in front of George Russell. Not a good look.
Oh,
not a good look. He was crying.
Hamiltonness is coming out.
He was crying. He was a little baby about it. Yeah. But that's not the first time he's done that. Nothing
it's not
going
to be the last.
And then Carlos Sainz in the other Ferrari was third place. So,
Ferrari, Mercedes, Ferrari.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Pretty interesting.
Ferrari is looking dominant this season.
Mm-hmm. Ferrari looking very dominant. It is going to set up to become, I have a feeling, the comeback story for the Red Bulls and possibly the Mercedes. The Mercedes still are trying to figure their cars out, but I guess you could say the Red Bulls are too because
true.
Many DNFs are not helping you.
Yeah, the 2 best teams of last year aren't looking so hot.
No, they're having actually really big problems. It's not
Meanwhile, Haas has not been the worst team in the field for the first time in ever.
Nope, they've been doing decent. And Lynn, I think that the McLarens, did they do okay?
You got their stats. Okay, let's see. I see Lando Norris in 8th and Ricciardo in 11th. So
that's
the
what
2 McLarens. Not okay. Not great, not the worst. Kevin Magnussen scoring points again, though.
Mm-hmm.
9th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Esteban Ocon, 7th. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. It was an okay race to watch. It was kind of disappointing to see what was going to turn out to be an interesting finish. Turned out to be nothing because it was going to be Leclerc and Verstappen racing for the win. But once Verstappen was done, that was it. There was no more racing for the win. Leclerc just pulled away easily.
Yes.
So that was F1.
Okay.
There were some other things that happened. There was the whole Long Beach action. There was a lot of action.
There was a ton of racing at Long Beach.
We're talking
every series.
IndyCar, IMSA, Stadium Super Trucks, and Carrera Cup were all there.
I think maybe even some other small series too.
I think so as well. But let's briefly go over IndyCar. Colton Herta was the leader basically going into all this. He was the favorite to win. I think he took the pole, and then he crashed in the middle of the race.
Oof.
Big yikes for him. Jimmy Johnson had a crash beforehand. I think he was in practice or qualifying that he had an incident, and he broke or fractured or did something to his hand or his wrist where he was in a cast for the actual event. Ooh. And people were debating if Sebastian Bourdais was going to have to take the drive, which he did not.
Wouldn't that have been something?
That would have been something.
A Bourdais that's racing IMSA
Yes.
to jump into an Indy car?
At the same weekend, at the same track.
Wouldn't
That would have
that
been kind
be
of cool.
something?
Would have been cool. But long story short, Joseph Newgarden does take the win for Team Penske.
Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm. And then Romain Grosjean was second, and Alex Palou was third.
I'm so happy to see Grosjean
I am too.
just continuing to do well.
Yes. Which
that
it
makes me
really
feel good.
proves the point, if you needed to prove it anymore, that F1's all about money.
Yeah,
It's all about money.
that's the only thing that F1. How much money would you like to spend? All of it. Okay, you win. You're the winner.
There was a pretty funny situation where somebody, you know how they have like the flowers, you go around a garden in Long Beach?
Yeah.
You go around the fountain is what it's called. One of the Indy cars actually high-sided themselves in the flower bed somehow.
Trimming the rosebuds, I
Yes, they
suppose.
had. And it was kind of funny to see them have to pull a car out of the roses to get them back on track.
That's actually really funny.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on from Indy over to IMSA.
Okay.
Because IMSA was a very interesting race. This was, I believe, an hour and 40 minutes was their event. And this was on the same track, Long Beach Grand Prix, the streets of Long Beach. And there were some weird situations that happened.
There
in
was
this
some
IMSA
weird
event.
situations, and there was one very weird situation.
Yeah.
And it sucks for me because the weirdest of the situations happened to one of my favorite cars in the field.
Yes.
The FAF Porsche.
Yes.
Like, what?
So they came into the pits. We're actually showing the video here, if you're watching on YouTube. And you will see a wheel nut from another car come flying from the back over
Whoop,
the top.
there it goes.
Just like it did right there. And it slid down into the radiator area. And you can see the person, the fuel guy, take it out of the radiator area and throw it off to the side. But that wheel nut was actually from a Corvette that was pitting behind them. You can just see it go through the shot right now. And that wheel nut was spinning, I think it's spinning something like 35,000 RPM or something.
Something
when
crazy.
They're taking them off. It's going really fast.
Insane.
And it just so happened to fly over the Porsche and into the radiator and just mangle the radiator.
How?
On the pit stop.
How?
It is the most unlucky thing I've ever seen in racing.
That is the craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
How does this happen? Okay,
know.
I've never seen this before. Porsche pits. Porsche's like, they've got this like radiator airflow giant hood vent thing in their front hood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it just so happened to flop right over top of the car and just so perfectly land dead center into the opening for the radiator.
It was very unfortunate.
Like, how does that even... I'm just flabbergasted at how that even happens. And then you can see, like, everyone's like, what the... how... where... what... what? It's just so confusing. So, big bummer. And you can see the Corvette driving away in the video, too.
Yeah.
The Corvette's like, okay, see ya. I'm out, guys.
Yep. I've never seen anything like it before. That was crazy.
Insane.
But the race overall was pretty good. The 01, the Chip Ganassi 01, with Renger van der Zande and then Sebastian Bourdais. They actually crashed in the very beginning of the event. Well, not crashed. They had an issue down at the hairpin.
I think they stuffed it really gently.
Yeah.
It was like
they
a
bumped
gentle...
into the wall. And then they got it pointed back in the right direction. And over the next hour and a half, they basically ran back to the lead of the race and did end up winning the race, which was kind of cool to see.
Good for them.
So that puts them in the lead in DPI. And then we have in GTD Pro, we have the Aston Martin with Ross Gunn and Alex.
Aston took the win in GTD Pro?
In GTD Pro.
Not a Corvette.
Nope, not a Corvette.
Hey.
And then we had, that was Ross Gunn and Alex Riberas. And then in GTD, we had a BMW M4 GT3, which was Brian Sellers and Madison Snow. And yeah, it was overall a good event.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get to see a ton of it. I kind of wish I did, but it was crazy to see the unlucky circumstances.
Yeah, you just can't even believe that even happens.
Yeah.
But either way, seems like it was an interesting race to watch.
It was indeed.
I wish I could have seen more of it.
For sure. So let's move on to some more unlucky circumstances. For a local person here.
Yes. There's actually, you want to talk about unlucky circumstances for a local person? Times 2.
Why?
You know, the ending of the Stadium Super Trucks and the other race for the Carrera Cup.
Ah, you're right. Okay.
Double the bad luck. There's a lot of bad luck at Long Beach this year.
Long Beach was not great for this area.
Wow.
But Stadium Super Trucks happened. That's Robbie Gordon's series that he runs over in. He takes it in tours around the country.
Yeah.
Cletus McFarlane, who owns the Freedom Factory, which is a big YouTube dude around here, got a seat in one of those trucks through, I believe, the Fun Haver guys, which is
Von Gittin Jr.
And all the drift dudes. It was pretty cool to see him racing the Stadium Super Trucks out at Long Beach. He did very well. The first race, he ended up spinning out or something and had a problem. The second race, he ended up driving from...
He drove the
Yeah.
shit out of that thing.
He drove really well. He drove...
I'll be honest.
Really well.
For a sports car racing enthusiast like myself, I was really impressed with his driving in that Stadium Super Trucks. I mean, I don't mean to sound bad, but just like he's just a YouTube guy, right?
Right.
He's not a professional racer that's brought up through the karting world since he was 4 years old.
No.
He drove the living hell out of this thing.
He did. He took his Crown Vic skills and put them to the test.
He did, yeah.
But those trucks are very cool. They actually take ramps in the middle of the track. It's pretty crazy. They're all about entertainment, which I think is awesome. So when they qualify, the fastest people go to the back and the slowest people go to the front.
That is the most
so the qualifying
way you
is
could do
reversed, which is really entertaining because that means that the guys from the back are pushing through the field and making passes and making stuff, which I think is awesome. So Cletus ended up qualifying in the second event. He ended up starting near the front, and he actually kept the lead for a lot of the race and coming down to the final jump, which is past the final corner.
It's on like the very last straight leading to start finish.
Yeah. He ended up wrecking the truck into the wall and ran across the finish line
in
to
true
finish last.
like Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby fashion, out of the truck, running to the finish. What a guy!
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Sad to see that happen though, because he was poised for a victory.
He was going to beat the series owner, Robbie Gordon. Mm-hmm. That's who was pushing him to the end of that event. And he was going to actually win that event, which would have been really awesome for his first weekend ever running these trucks. Would have been sweet to watch. But he ended up losing it on the last jump, which is only like 200 yards from the end of the race. It's really close.
You could almost throw a ball as far as the jump to the start finish.
Super close, but unfortunately he did wreck on the last
he
one.
did get a nice photo finish.
He did.
Sprinting and then jumping and rolling across the
diving
finish.
Across the start
Not
finish.
The photo finish you would think in racing, but hey, it is a finish that got a lot of photos, I'm sure.
It was cool. It was entertaining. And that's what they're all about. They're entertainment industry.
That's the whole point of it. Stadium Super Trucks.
Mm-hmm. So that was really cool to see. And then we have the Carrera Cup event, which also happened. That was our local Grant Hockey was in it.
Yep.
And he had a rough one.
Yeah, some more bad luck for honestly, Sarasota area didn't really love Long Beach or Let me put it this way. Long Beach didn't really love Sarasota locals.
No. Grant Hockey was in the first race and he was going into the hairpin. And from what I've heard, one of the drivers behind him, his foot slipped off the brake pedal, and he just railed into the side of the Grant Hockey car.
Yep.
And just punted them both into the wall, broke the radiator for the car that hit Grant. I can't remember the name of the driver who hit him. And then Grant's car was also done, and he retired from that race. There are 2 races, though, that happen for Carrera Cup at every event that they go to. And the second race that they did, Grant did finish the race. And
I got to admit, though, holy cow, to watch his team ACI Motorsports for them to be able to rebuild that car that quickly.
Not only did they rebuild his car,
done.
They rebuilt the other car as well.
You're right, because I think they are like the main team that everyone goes to for like, help us,
yeah.
We done broke it.
Mm-hmm.
And did you watch any of his second race?
I think I did, yes.
He narrowly missed some big drama.
He did.
I remember watching, and there was 3 cars stacked right in front of him, 3 wide. And then 2 cars pinched the middle car. Middle car somehow got out unscathed.
Yep.
And then the other 2 cars went all everywhere. And you can see in the video Grant going, nope, don't want any of this shit.
Yeah, he's
I'm
right
out.
behind all of this.
See ya.
Yeah.
But yeah, so glad to see he was able to finish greater than what he started in the second race. So.
He did indeed.
So happy with that for him, but unlucky in the first race.
For sure. So that was overall the racing that happened this past weekend. It was a lot. It was good. Really wish the Sarasota guys could have done better, but that is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does indeed. So let's move on to something else.
Okay.
There was Cars and Coffee
There was.
over by us. and we've become accustomed to going to these.
Yeah.
We have a couple photos. You want to chat about a couple cars that were there?
Yeah, let's quickly recap our local Sarasota Cars and Coffee.
Let's do it.
All
so
right.
to kick it off.
So there was a couple of stars of the show.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine just picked up his brand spanking new 765 Longtail McLaren. It's funny because I was talking to him on the gram, and he had literally like just picked the car up like literally the night before.
Oh, really?
Like literally, it got delivered to his house like I think 7 o'clock like the night before. So he got this 765 Longtail, and it was already modified.
Dang.
He literally bought the car, went right to the shop, exhaust tune, all sorts of shit.
Dang.
Spits flames. It's amazing.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
And that's the one we have here?
Yeah, it's this black. We're looking at a picture of it right now. It's a black McLaren 765 Longtail. It's gone like full Batmobile spec here. But you know what? My absolute favorite part about this car?
What?
The roof scoop.
The roof scoop.
That makes a car such like a race car for me. If you put a roof scoop on a car,
Yeah, there is something about that.
and it's a functional roof scoop too. You can actually see like where the roof scoop like funnels all the air into.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so sick.
Mm-hmm.
That just, to me, that makes this car just 11 of 10.
These Longtails are pretty rare, aren't they?
Very.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's really, I think, only one or two in town.
Okay. Yeah.
They're arguably my favorite McLaren that's out right now.
Gotcha.
By a considerable... I actually like this more than I like the McLaren Senna.
Okay.
Or the Speedtail or any of the other really, really hot McLarens. I think the 765 Longtail is my favorite McLaren that's out currently.
I think it is very good looking. I don't know if it's my favorite though. Like this is an interesting shot where you're between two other McLarens.
The old MP4-12C and a very highly modified 720S on the right.
Right. I think I would go more 720, but that's just me. Just to keep
So the 765
simple.
is the hot version of the 720.
Right.
But
Yeah, the Longtail.
It's
a cool car.
I'm a sucker for that 765 Longtail.
It's a cool car.
One of my favorite. I think that might be my favorite car that was at Cars and Coffee.
I have a specific one.
Because
It's my car spot.
I've never been that close to a 765 Longtail.
Oh.
And it's my favorite supercar that's out currently.
Okay.
So that's maybe...
It's not a Porsche?
Porsches aren't supercars, they're sports cars.
What's the crazy one that the hybrid
It's
one?
not out right now. Oh, that's not... They don't make that anymore.
Yeah, I know, but still. That would not be
918
your...
Spider. That's a supercar, yes.
Yeah.
But most Porsches are not supercars, they're sports cars.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. All right, so there was some other stuff out there.
Yes.
Some controversial stuff.
Like this white-on-white Ferrari F8. Do you like the white-on-white interior as well?
No.
It's a lot of white.
There's too much.
That's a lot of white.
At least it's clean. Like, they cleaned it well. It looks good.
Yeah.
But it's too much white.
I actually like the white-on-white.
No, it doesn't do it for me.
I like the white-on-white.
Okay.
I am surprisingly a fan of the white-on-white.
Okay.
Then we have this very, very beautiful Porsche 718 Spider, which is a GT4 without a roof.
Yes.
So I believe this was manual transmission. But the strange thing is that they have the top up.
Does this one have the wing delete?
This never had a wing.
This never had a wing?
This is a GT4 without a top.
Okay.
So it's a Boxster Spider, which is the hottest version of the Boxster,
Yep.
but it's essentially a GT4 that's got no roof.
There's no Boxster that has a wing?
No.
Okay.
Nope. But the roof on this is that it's not an electric roof. It's like the tarp, the button down, and all
Right.
those. But you remember what the temperature was at Cars and Coffee this past weekend?
Perfect.
68 degrees
Beautiful.
and sunny.
Yeah.
I don't know how we lucked out with that weather in early to mid-April.
Right.
But good God. Why? Why are you going to have the top up on this car? This car looks so much better with the top down, too, because it's got those, like, rear humps, too. Oh, this car is so good with the top down, but you've ruined it.
The car
car's
next to
red with
another Porsche
Orem wheels. Yeah.
has the top down.
It was 68 degrees and sunny. Why? It should be illegal to have a convertible and not have the top down when it's that weather. It should be illegal. A cop sees a car convertible top up. Your top must be inoperable for you to drive without it down on a day like today.
Okay. That's a
my
hot take.
That's my take. Ooh.
Ooh. Yes.
And then we transition to this Audi.
There was an Audi there. What is this?
Audi S5 Sportback.
This was an Audi S5 Sportback that had looking from a far distance, it was probably dark, it was like a black. It was probably looked black to you.
It looked pretty well black, yeah.
Yeah. But up close, it was a very dark green. Do you know the specific color?
Not of this one. It reminds me of, it almost reminds me of like a Brewster green that's metallic. Like a metallic Brewster green, but you don't get, Brewster green's not metallic. So forest green maybe? There's a Porsche forest green that resembles it a little bit.
Everybody I talked to that walked up closer and closer to this car liked it more and more. It was one of those situations.
Beautiful. I love the paint. Make green great again.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh, and then a car that we all kind of were like, what the? Oh my God, it is what I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is a Jensen Interceptor.
Interceptor
3, more specifically.
It is.
Could you imagine going to dinner and saying, honey, let's take the Interceptor to dinner?
That'd be amazing.
I know Top Kid Clarkson loved it. He used to take.
Yeah.
I think they did a redone version of the Interceptor, like they did like the Singer Porsche and the Eagle Speedster and all this. But like, it's an Interceptor.
I don't think I've ever seen a Jensen.
I've never seen a Jensen Interceptor ever.
Yeah.
Ever. It's so. This was one of those cars. Where I was like, whoa.
Right.
I didn't know this dog. It's cool.
There were a few of those.
There actually was more of those this past month than I was kind of expecting.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. There was.
But really, really cool. The Jensen Interceptor.
Very cool. And then we move on to what? This is an AMG.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is this?
Is it the GLE? I think it's the GLE Coupe.
The Mercedes AMG GLE
Is it
Coupe.
the GLA Coupe? Or is it the GLC Coupe? I don't remember which one's which. Which one's the smaller one? It's the GLC Coupe, but it's the GLC 63 AMG S.
Yes. I thought it was a very clean spec of this car. I actually like the way this car looks. Are you a fan of this? Or is this too bulbish for you?
I don't mind it.
Porsche does this with their rims.
The red lip?
Yeah.
That's what you're going for?
I think it accented well.
That's fine. Yeah, because it's got the red lip in the front.
Right. I think it accented well with the rest. And it's not trying to be the center of attention.
It's the GLC 63S AMG is what this is.
That's a mouthful.
It is, yes. But that is the one we're looking at.
Are those super expensive? I imagine they're not cheap.
Let's see.
Yeah, I imagine that these
find
are
out.
Going for a very pretty penny of, my suspicion is 120.
I will tell you in just a minute.
Give me a guess.
Learn. It's 130-ish.
Yeah.
Let's see. 85? Interesting.
That can't be right.
Interesting.
I suspect that's not right, but that's just me.
Interesting.
Anyway, I thought it was a very clean look for that vehicle.
No, yeah, starting at 860. Okay, yeah. No, 80 grand, 90 grand.
That's not bad at all.
Interesting.
So let's move on to the Jeeps.
The Jeepses.
The many of Jeepses that were there.
The Jeepses, and one's not a Jeepses.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
One's a Hummer.
To have the old Jeep, the old military Jeep,
Uh-huh.
and then a normal Jeep. Do you know which ones these are?
The one's an original Willis Jeep.
Yeah.
One's the red one I think is a YJ. It's got whatever one has the square headlights. I don't remember what Jeep has the square headlights.
I don't know Jeeps well enough. And then an OG Hummer, which was pretty cool. An H1 Hummer.
I can dig it.
That was pretty cool.
With the snorkel.
Yep.
Proper.
They were all lined up next to each other. That was kind of cool.
Oh,
so
okie dokie.
We move on to an NSX.
The newest.
The new one.
NSX. The NSX Type S.
What do you think about it?
I think it looks better than the current or the previous NSX. Because I think the previous NSX hybrid was a bit bland. I think the extra carbon aero bits in the facelift did it a favor.
I do agree with you. I think the front does look better, but it doesn't look a ton better. It's just slightly better.
That's my next point. Is it better? Yes. Is it 1,000% better? No. I like it, sure, it's fine, but if I'm spending that money, I'm not getting an NSX.
Yeah. And actually, we were talking when we were there that the back of it, it's got a lot of diffuser going on. That's fine. There's no problem with that. That's just what cars nowadays do. But the top of the back is starting to look very every other car-ish to me.
Yeah, like a C8.
Yeah.
It looks kind of Corvette-ish.
It's
got very
Corvette-ish.
squared off hips, like the C8 does in the rear.
Which I'm sure that all cars are kind of going that way for aerodynamic purposes. I'm sure there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Just like there's a reason for having the giant diffuser on the bottom. I think it looks clean, but is it worth it?
No.
It's kind of my take. No.
Interesting. First one we've seen of the new body style, so that's good, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, the picture you just scrolled to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's an interesting spec.
What are we seeing here?
That would be a Lamborghini Huracan Evo rear-wheel drive with some extra tinsel.
There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot of tinsel there.
I don't know if it's terrible, though.
I don't know if it's good.
I don't know if it's good, but I don't think it's terrible either. Like, if you're going to have it, you want to be the center of attention.
They went white, black racing stripe, bronze, and yellow accent.
Yeah, bronze rims with the yellow calipers, and kind of the racing stripe in the middle of it has the bronze stripe down the middle
And
of the
even
black.
the accent on the sides is bronze with, I believe, a little yellow stripe as well.
It's not terrible, but it's not great.
Don't like the wing.
No.
The wing does not work for me. It's just too much tinsel.
Yeah.
That car's just not great for me.
Yeah.
And now we've moved on to something else.
And then there was the smallest car you've ever seen.
It actually was tiny. Yeah. This is a Fiat Jolly.
I've never heard of a Fiat Jolly.
Me neither. But boy, was this thing freaking unique.
It was cool.
It was really cool, yeah. So it's a Fiat 500 with, like, it's not that it doesn't have doors, it's that it was never even built with doors.
No.
It's not like there was doors and now there isn't. It's like your door is just a string.
Yeah. You have a piece of rope as your door now.
And the part of this car that really makes it for me, the wicker seats.
Yeah.
It's so tiny.
The two wicker
You
seats up
could
front
literally
for
just-
each passenger, and then like a wicker bench in the back.
It's like someone got their lawn furniture and put it in a car.
Yeah, it really is.
And like the awning on the top, this looks like a car that it should. This looks like a boat,
It's tiny.
like a little day cruiser boat.
The wheels are the smallest wheels ever.
We actually were kind of playing around, and we're like, I wonder if a flip flop is wider than the wheels, and it actually is. Like a men's like size 9 flip flop is like
goodness.
actually wider in the forefoot
Oh my goodness.
than the entire tire. Like a flip flop has a much better contact patch than this entire car.
That's insane.
That is crazy to think about. They're so tiny. But it was such an interesting car to see. The
It is a cool
Fiat Jolly.
little
I've never
car.
seen one before.
Very cool little car. Oh, go from small to large.
The biggest thing in the world.
Yes.
An
So
international of sorts.
I had never seen one of these. This is called an International, and
I
that's
don't know the
brand.
I don't know the model of international, but it's big.
I did not know that there was a brand called the International.
Yeah, they make like combine harvesters and stuff and tractors.
And back in the day, they made a big vehicle.
They also made like off-roady Jeep things. It's called. It was the off-roady Jeepy one was the International Scout.
Oh, I have heard of the International Scout before.
Yeah.
But this thing was a monster.
It's the biggest car I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like a school bus, actually.
It is. You're right. It is slightly shorter than a school bus, but the width and like the length that you would expect, not quite a school bus length, but basically a school bus length. It's crazy.
It's like a short bus.
It was really cool to see that. Yeah.
It's really, really cool.
The International. And it was well kept from what I can see here.
It did look well cut.
Very well kept.
Surprisingly. And then the car that you just scrolled to. Oh, Derek.
So this was this specific show that we went to. They always center it around something, and I think the last time it was Porsche, right?
It was.
And this time it was EVs, the electric vehicles that you oh so love. And this, what we're looking at, I thought was an EV when I originally walked past it.
I'm surprised you're fessing up to this.
Oh, I will fess up, no problem.
I'm surprising that you're fessing up to
I'll
this.
fess up to my mistake, no problem. So I initially said that, whoa, look at that Tesla. And this is clearly a Lotus.
Whoa, it's a Tesla Roadster.
Yeah. I thought it was an original Roadster.
Derek, no.
No, no.
This is a Lotus.
To be fair, we were far away. Okay. I just saw the outline of it, the silhouette of it, per se. But this is one of the older Lotuses, and I think this is actually a very well kept, cool Lotus.
It's not that old. No.
What? When would this have been?
It's a Lotus, I believe, in Evora. It's just
Yeah.
a few years old.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I saw the Lotus outline, and I was like, oh, it's a Roadster. And that's because they took the Roadsters, were basically Lotuses, and then they took it and put a battery pack
And
in
like
it. And
tweaked things.
yeah, and that's about it. And then they put the Tesla badge on it. And that was basically it.
I'll take your excuse. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll take your excuse.
All right. Good.
I will never let you live it down, but I will take your excuse.
Good. And we can move on to something that doesn't belong.
This is one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
Which one of these things is not like the other?
So it goes Tesla Model Y, Lamborghini, Huracan, something or
Evo
another.
rear-wheel drive again.
Okay. And then we have 2 Mustang Mach-E's.
Mach-E GTs, actually.
Oh, they
More
were
specific.
GTs, you're right.
Yes.
So the Huracan does not belong.
Yeah, no, that's not an EV. That is a 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10.
Yeah, no, that's quite the opposite of an EV.
I'm so happy that was there to break up the battery monotony.
The monotony of the electric
Yes.
vehicles, yes.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I like this car that you just scrolled to.
In the very front, there was an Aston Martin. A pretty Aston Martin.
God, that's a good-looking car.
Yeah, it's a good paint. It's a good spec. Yeah. Astons are getting to me.
God, that's a good car.
Astons are getting to me.
Why does this car get to you?
I don't know.
You
I don't
wanna
know what
why-
about.
You want to know why it gets to me?
Why?
Because it's got a V12 in a small car.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the smallest car that Aston makes with the biggest amount of engine that they make.
the V12 Vantage.
Yes.
Yes.
I just love that.
Yes. It does look good. It kind of has all the feels about that car.
That is a very good car.
Yes.
I
And
would drive that car.
for the people
a lot.
listening, is blue. What would you call this blue?
It's like a sapphire blue
Yeah, sapphire
with black
blue,
wheels.
black wheels, and like can't tell if they're yellow
They're
or
yellow.
neon.
They're yellow calipers.
Yellow calipers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good spec.
With the black lipstick, black carbon lipstick up
it's
front.
a good spec.
It's just a very, very pretty car.
And then there were all the Corvettes.
Would you like a Corvette? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row?
8 in a row? Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, and I
hell.
think there's a Lamborghini way down there. You know that really neon Lamborghini? It was way down there before the white Corvette. But yes.
That blended in.
Yes, it did blend in with all of them.
That's a lot
I
of
think
Corvettes.
7 in a row. A couple C8s, a C7. Is that a C6?
There's a
this is
C6 there. Yep.
Yeah.
The nose of a C6.
Yeah. So
I think there's actually 2 C6s there.
I'm sure you can find a lot of jean shorts and a lot of hats.
I can actually see some jean shorts in the background right now.
Yes, you
as a matter of fact. Yes, I can. Oh, wow.
And this was the one that didn't belong.
Wow,
in the
that's
Corvette Corolla.
that looks like my pee after I've had a fresh set of vitamins.
It is the most neon yellow you can get. I think the most neon yellow you can get on a Lamborghini.
That is the most Lamborghini neon yellow you can. I don't think that's from Lamborghini. That's got to be a wrapper.
That's
or something.
wrapped.
But
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
like, oh my.
Okay, let me ask you the question though. If you want to be the center of attention and you get a Lamborghini, does this work?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I think that this is actually not bad to do to this car.
To that car, no, that works. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
I kind of am
I've
okay
got-
with it as well.
I've got no problem with that car.
Because if you're going to buy that car, you likely do want to be the center of attention.
Yep.
And if you want to be the center of attention, wrap it in neon.
How easier is it to be the center of attention when you are just a highlighter?
You won the attention war.
Yep, you're there.
Congratulations.
You're there.
Would I do that?
A
No.
neon Lamborghini Huracan.
But I'm not opposed to it.
It's not the best, not the worst.
So, this
Okay.
was something very interesting.
Okay.
This is one of those cars that we walked past. I think both me and you initially did walk past this car.
Okay.
And this is a Maserati.
No.
Yes, it is.
That's a Chrysler Baron.
This is a Chrysler by Maserati.
That. It's a Chrysler by Maserati?
It is a Chrysler by Maserati. This is a very odd car, and this is actually my car spot of the week.
Is it?
Yes.
Do tell, because I don't know anything about a Chrysler by Maserati.
So this is a Chrysler TC. I believe I have some other photos. Yeah.
There's one.
This is a Chrysler TC.
Chryslers. apparently.
Chryslers, I guess.
Wow.
And you look at the
this.
badge.
That is a
It's a
Maserati
Maserati
badge.
badge, and then by Maserati on the backside.
I didn't know this was a thing. That looks like a Chrysler LeBaron is what all that looks like.
It does look like it. And here's some history for you, my friend. So this
Okay,
was actually
learn me something new about a Chrysler by Maserati.
a Lee Iacocca car.
Oh, Mr. Iacocca.
So he was what, in Ford and in Chrysler?
Yeah, he was
Correct.
Ford, and then I think he was sacked from Ford and went to Chrysler.
Yes. So he started a friendship with Alejandro Di Tommaso while at Ford.
as in like the Pantera, the Di Tommaso
Pantera Di Tommaso.
Okay.
There was actually one of those at the car show, which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he led the Di Tommaso Pantera, which eventually did flop because of safety concerns.
Wasn't The D2 Mouse, that was kind of like a Ford thing.
It was a Ford thing.
Yeah, so Iacocca and D2 Mouse were at Ford together.
Yes.
Oh, so this was before Iacocca went to Chrysler.
Right.
Got it.
During the 80s, Iacocca headed Chrysler while Di Tommaso was the owner of the historic Maserati brand.
Ah.
So there's a connection here. In 83, Iacocca considered the manufacturing of a knockoff Mercedes Roadster based on the Plymouth Reliant until he was talked out of it. Okay. And then in 84, both companies signed a memorandum of understanding to create a sports coupe, ultimately became the TC, which is the car that we're looking at here.
In beige.
Uh-huh. Which carried the hopes that it might overcome Chrysler's blue-collar image and attract some better-heeled customers to the showroom. This was an Iacocca and Chrysler Maserati baby thing. And it's weird.
I don't like it.
I don't.
It's interesting.
It is very interesting for the history. It doesn't look particularly great. But what did you expect from Chrysler and Maserati having a baby?
You're an ugly ass kid.
Back in the 80s.
An ugly kid, that's for sure.
And that's what we got out of it.
That is something, that's for sure.
I don't think this would have brought in what they called better heeled customers. That's a weird way to say more people who would pay more money.
Yes, all of the monies.
Right. And I don't really think that it did because it only lasted for, I believe, 3 years. It went from 89 to 91.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And the base
Didn't
price...
they have like a lot of delays with it too?
I think that they did because they started creating it in like 83 and it didn't actually get created until 89.
Oh, so is that not like the most Chrysler and Maserati thing to do?
Yeah.
Start making a car in the early to mid 80s and never get around to actually making it until 89. God damn, that's such a Chrysler and Maserati thing to do. So, the fake ballers of the time.
This is the car for the fake ballers of the time.
So the current fake ballers drive a clapped out Maserati Gran Turismo.
You're right.
So if you were a fake baller in say 89, 90, or 91, you went to the Chrysler showroom and said, "I want one of these Chrysler's TC by Maseratis, please." Yeah.
What a weird car. What kind of an interesting car, though, for the backstory.
How much horsepower did it have?
Okay, so a couple numbers on it. It had somewhere between 160 to 200 brake horsepower.
Power!
231 newton meters of torques. Or no, yeah, that's newton meters. So 170 pound-feet of torques.
Okay.
I believe that it was a 4-cylinder. It was a 2.2 liter. I think it also had a 3 liter as well, which made a little bit more horsepower. It came with a 3-speed automatic, 4-speed automatic, and a 5-speed manual, depending on the trim that you got. And it was a front-wheel drive vehicle, and the top speed of it was 124 miles an hour. 0 to 60 time, 10 seconds.
Oh my God, that is not a very good car.
A curb weight of 3,000 pounds,
and it only weighs 3,000 pounds.
Only weighs 3,000 pounds.
And it still took 10 seconds to get to 60.
Took 10 seconds.
Wow, that's not a brilliant piece of machinery there, is it?
Not particularly, no.
Yes.
But it was a cool car because I like learning about these
odd things. It's just weird.
Yeah. But I find those way more interesting than seeing this neon yellow Lamborghini Huracan.
Well, yeah,
that I've seen so many of.
We've seen the same neon yellow Lamborghini Huracan everywhere. Right. But Chrysler's TC by Maserati, let's go, baby.
Yeah, Chrysler having a baby with Maserati in the 80s, that's a wild ride.
I didn't know this existed.
I had no idea either. But it's kind of a cool car.
And I guess it's not beige. The interior is beige.
Yes.
I would call this cream.
It is cream.
Lemon cream. Lemon meringue is the flavor of color here.
That is a fantastic.
Paint to sample lemon meringue.
Paint to sample lemon meringue. It's a great color name. I can guarantee you that's not what it is on Chrysler's website either. Or Maserati's. Wherever you buy this from. I don't honestly know.
I'm sure Chrysler probably named this suntan lotion.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, boy.
So, other than that, there's a Datsun that was there, which is kind of cool.
Couple cool stuff, yeah.
Cool little Datsun. Is well kept from what I can tell.
Looks like
very clean. There were a
pair of DeLoreans, baby.
2 DeLoreans.
A pair of them.
And actually, the DeLoreans were very well kept, and they were kind of off to the side, which was kind of interesting.
Weird.
And if you looked inside of one of the DeLoreans, they had a hoverboard sitting in the passenger seat.
That's great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So they totally took the culture, which is pretty neat. And then we have the remaining EVs that were there.
Okay, so you've got 2 Model Ys, right? Did I use the correct, or is that a Model 3 on the left?
That's a Model 3 on the left.
Okay, so that's a Model Y.
Yeah, and I believe this.
Are they both Model 3s or no? The big one's a Model Y.
Yeah, this is a Model Y.
Is the other one Model Y or Model 3?
The matte one is. The left one is a Model 3.
Is it? It looks taller than a Model 3.
I think it's a Model 3.
It might be a Model Y.
It's kind of hard to tell from the front, honestly, between those two cars.
Because they look exactly the same.
From the front, they really
featureless,
do.
right?
Yes. But the one that's matte is kind of interesting.
Yes.
What do you think about it?
I think if you put a VN in it, that'd be amazing. Because it's lifted on all-terrain tires.
All-terrain tires on a Tesla.
Which means you know what its range is now.
None.
Not only does it have all-terrain tires, it also has a roof rack.
It does have a roof rack.
Which means all that wind resistance means you will power your computer up in the morning. Mm-hmm. You'll try to drive yourself to work. Work is 21 miles away, and you've got 19 miles of range.
Yeah. They clearly do not care about the efficiency of this vehicle, which is fine. If they're going to get that car and do it, that's fine. No problem.
I hate that they popped the frunk, though.
Of course. I mean, why would you not? You're at a car show.
I hate that
Show your engine off.
God, I hate that so much.
Show it off, baby.
I hate that so much. You know my favorite thing about this picture, though?
What?
Is the paint-to-sample Arena Red 911 GT3 to the side.
Well, of course you wanted the nose sticking out.
Oh, it's so... that was maybe my second favorite car there.
And then it's just Ferrari after that.
Paint-to-sample Arena Red with a manual transmission.
Okay.
God, that car is so stunning.
Yes. So the EVs didn't really show up in the numbers that I expected them to. But
did you honestly think that they would?
I thought there'd be
you honestly think they would?
I thought there'd be a bunch of Teslas there. There were some, but I did not see... Did you see the row of Corvettes that were there? I expected that.
You expected...
I expected the Tesla
owners don't do that.
They literally... You can buy... I say buy in quotes. You can buy a Tesla at the shopping mall that we were at.
You can.
Yes.
But those aren't Tesla people that don't do... Tesla people don't go to car meets.
No, they don't.
No.
They go to rodeos in Texas, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what they do.
Fair and touche. Touche.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The lifted Model Y, though.
It was interesting. Don't think I would do that on mine, but I kind of do like the look
I wonder
of
if that's actually any good off-road now.
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No, it won't be.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right. So then the Chrysler TCs by Maserati was your car spot of the week. Did you happen to see anything else?
I also happened to see a black F430, which was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I happened to see, I forgot to pull up the picture, but there was a old beat up Toyota Camry or Corolla or something that had like gray spray paint on it. And they had written with Sharpie on the paint a whole bunch of like math equations all over it. And it was the weirdest thing. I'll send it to you after this, and you can like post it on Instagram and ask for people's opinions on it.
Weird.
It was really weird, but it was kind of sort of cool because it was a whole bunch of like nerdy stuff. But at the same time, it was just odd. I don't know.
That is really weird.
It was not a well-kept vehicle, I can tell you that. They didn't care about the paint.
No, it sounds like
and then I just kept on seeing Bentley Continentals. I don't know why, but I saw like 10 of them.
Bentleys.
They're everywhere here, dude.
Bentleys. Bentley is like the official state car of Florida's wealthy retired people.
You might be right about that.
You just get, if you're a wealthy retired person in Florida, you get a Bentley Continental.
You do.
If you're not super wealthy, you get a beige Lexus.
Maserati Chrysler thing.
Yeah. Yes, a Maserati Chrysler thing.
Yes. So those are basically my car spots. Did you see anything interesting?
I did. I saw a bunch of interesting things.
Okay.
The first thing I saw was a car that I absolutely hated, and it's dreadful, and it's a piece of crap.
Oh, let's talk about it.
But it's a car that you don't see often anymore.
Okay.
And it's a Caddy.
Ooh.
Cadillac.
Okay.
From about 2009-ish.
Okay.
But it's the XLR. Do you remember the XLR?
Off the top of my head, no.
It's like, you know the Mercedes SL, which is their like rear-wheel drive convertible, like long hood.
Yes.
Cruising sports thing.
Yes.
It's Cadillac's answer to that.
I think I do remember that now.
I hated this car so much when it came out.
Yes.
I thought it was not good looking. I thought they designed the car only with a ruler. There's not a curve with the exception of literally the fender, like the actual wheel arches. Everything is a straight edge. Like literally, look at it. Every single thing is a straight edge.
It's edgy.
Literally. Yes, but undunce. Right. But I saw a convertible one in this exact spec, the kind of red with a beige interior in the wood, right? And I just thought, wow, I never see that. And thank God I don't.
The first thing that pops into my head about this car is, yes, it's ugly, but how much does it weigh? Because Cadillacs are not known for being...
Not as heavy as you would expect. I mean, it's not light, but it's about 3,650, 3,700 pounds.
Okay.
So it's not incredibly heavy, but it's not a Lotus.
It's a ton and a half. It's not light, but...
Agreed.
Yeah, okay. I was expecting like 4,500 pounds.
No.
Okay.
That's kind of what I expected too until I saw the figures. But
we know that Cadillacs are boats.
they are, yes.
And this fits the boat.
It very much does, yes.
Yes.
You know the engine it had?
My guess is it's not very powerful.
Not particularly. It's a 4.6 liter North Star V8, baby.
It has 4 liters. 4 points. That's kind of big, actually.
It's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like it. It produced 320 horsepower.
How did... What?
This is not from 1985. This is from 2009.
What? My car has 4-cylinder 2-liter making 200 horsepower. How does that thing make only 300 horsepower?
A GTI from that era, from 2009, so same year to same year, a GTI with a 2-liter turbocharged engine makes about 220 horsepower.
What the heck, dude?
This giant 4.6-liter North Star V8 only made 320.
That's impossible.
310
That is
torques.
physically impossible.
At the time, it was about 87 grand.
87?
Would you ever even consider paying $87,000 for this bucket of magnificence?
I guess you must be retired with a beach house
and a pension,
yes, and a boatload of money, and then sure you would buy this
and have no sense at all.
No car sense, no, and just
horrible. God,
if it is your retirement car, sure, but that's the only way you buy this car.
I remember thinking it was horrible when it came out, and now that I know the figures about it, I think it's horrible.
It's not good.
It has not aged well.
It is not good.
No. But now my next spot is something that was very, very good.
Okay.
One of my favorite Ferraris, I think, of modern time. Saw a 458 Speciale.
What is a Speciale?
It's the hot version of the 458 Italia.
The one?
The last of the naturally aspirated V8 Ferraris. The very last of them. Every Ferrari since has been forced induction.
That's going to be worth something.
It's been climbing.
Yes.
It's been climbing a lot. The spec I saw was yellow with the Italian flag livery stripe over top, just as the spec that we're seeing right now.
Perfect.
I did see it while I was out and about, and I was like,
yep.
Oh my God, it's a Speciale. 458 Italias and Spiders, they're fine. I love them.
We see them.
But a Speciale is it's exactly that. It's special, right? Yeah. It's maybe my favorite Ferrari of modern time. This, if I could have my favorite like dream Ferrari garage, I would have an F40.
Okay.
I would have a 430 Scuderia.
Yep.
A 458 Speciale, and an F12 TDF.
Which one would you rather have more, the 430 Scuderia or this?
Don't do that to me.
Ooh, I'm putting you on the spot.
Don't do that to me. Maybe the 458.
Really?
I love the 430. I don't know. See, that's difficult. That's like, tell me, would you rather get rid of your heart or your lungs?
Reasonable questions to ask.
I can't. I have to have them both or have nothing.
Okay. I can tell you I would go 430 all day.
I love them both.
I love this thing, but it doesn't.
But let me give you some specs, right?
It doesn't do it.
4.5 liter naturally aspirated V8, right?
Okay.
It is the most beautiful soundtrack. 597 horsepower with 398 torques.
That's a lot.
Torques. And this is very similar year to the Cadillac XLR, if you think about it. Not far off in terms of years. Maybe 4 or 5 years
The engine
later,
is 0.1
and it
liter
has
smaller, and it's doubled
the
horsepower.
And you can lop almost 1,000 pounds off of the Cadillac, too.
Okay.
2,850 pounds.
Whoa.
So
That's
800 pounds
power for that car.
That is a rocket.
I think that's like the right amount of good power for that weight too.
It's
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's beautiful too.
Right.
I mean, it is a gorgeous car.
Yeah.
But I saw that and my jaw hit the floor.
Yep, that's a good one.
That is surprisingly not my spot of the week.
Oh?
My spot of the week goes to a car that I have never seen before.
Okay.
It is brand spanking new.
What?
It is the brand new Maserati MC20, their new mid-engine sports car supercar. Actually, with the price, it's a supercar, which we'll get into in a minute.
An MC20.
First one I've ever seen.
Tell me more.
Saw it in all black. It's Maserati's new supercar. I love this car with the exception of the engine.
Okay. Wait, tell me all the things except the engine first.
Okay, except the engine.
Yeah.
You get 8-speed dual clutch automatic only. It's 3,400 pounds-ish, so it's not the lightest thing in the world, but it's also not the heaviest thing in the world.
Okay.
0 to 60 in just a hair under 3 seconds, so it's stupid fast.
Yep.
And it's available for a nice, reasonable $212,000.
So it definitely, in those specs, it fits the supercar category.
I'd say it's a
why do you
supercar.
not like it?
Because instead of putting a lumping great V8 in it, or a V10, a high-revving V10,
Right.
they put a twin-turbo V6.
I see.
A 3-liter twin-turbo V6. Now, it does develop as we might describe, a jolly amount of horsepowers. 631 horsepower.
Okay, that's plenty.
538 pound-feet of torque. So
That's
it's a
plenty.
lot of power. But it has no soul.
No.
It has sold its soul to the twin-turbo V6 devil.
What do you think about the exterior of this car?
I like it.
Do you?
I think it's stunningly beautiful, yes.
Reminds me of like a Noble-ish.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Combine a Noble and the new Lotus Emira.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I like the look of it. I just wish they put like a V10 or a V8 in it.
Did you see one on the road?
I did. No, like literally on the
Driving
road.
around.
Yeah, it was. I went whizzing past it the other way, and it's funny. My wife wasn't. It was actually hilarious. My wife was in the car. I was like, "Oh my god, Maserati MC20! Oh my god!" And she's like, "How do you even see that?" I swear to God, you have an extra sense that just notices when there's a supercar or a sports car around, and you just automatically like attune into it.
Yes.
I feel the energy of supercars.
I'm with you on that. I have one eye on the road and one eye on the other side of the road.
Yeah,
To look
because
for
you
car
never know
spots.
what you're going to see. And
Yes.
I saw an MC20.
Yes.
It is stunningly beautiful. I just wish they would have put a V8 or a V10 in it.
I don't know if that's a game killer for this car. I think it's probably efficient at what it does.
Yeah, but it's not going to sound good.
No, it's going to sound different.
It's going to sound like the Ford GT, which made a noise.
Yeah, but
The V6 Ford GT, it's going to sound like it's going to make a noise. It's going to make a lot of noise.
Listen to my vacuum cleaner go.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like the delicately crafted 4.5-liter NA V8 in the 458 Speciale.
It will not be anything close to that, which I understand your frustration, but that's just the way we're going.
But I do love the car.
It's cool.
And it makes a lot of horsepower.
Looks-wise, I do wish it had a little more flair. I think it looks a little bland for
Do
what
you?
it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of it.
Okay. That's a cool spot, though.
I'm also not a huge fan of it for $212,000, though.
No. That's too much for that
Yeah, it's
car.
too much for that car. We're in agreement there.
Yeah, that's
That's
too much
not.
for that car.
That's a $160,000 car.
Yeah, I was gonna say 150. Yep.
That's not a $212,000 plus starting at $212,000.
But you know what would make it that?
What's that?
A Chrysler badge.
Jesus Christ. Yes, the Chrysler MC20 by Maserati. Yeah, baby, let's go. Okay, so that's my spot of the week, the Maserati MC20.
You know, both of our spots were Maseratis.
I am just now realizing. Yeah, very Maserati heavy week. Apparently, we are transitioning into our fake baller status here.
Yes, we are.
All right, get the gold chains out, baby. Let's go.
All right, let's move on. Let's finish this puppy up.
Okay.
I wish they would have time.
All right.
Do you have anything interesting?
I do. I have, and I wish they would have, that talks about a car that I wish they would have brought to the U.S. of A.
The United States of America?
Yeah, baby.
And what might that car be?
I wish they would have brought the Alpine A110 to the U.S.
Tell me more about the Alpine A110.
I shall.
Okay.
It is a small, mid-engined sports car.
This car looks weird.
You think it looks weird?
Yes.
I think it looks great.
Okay.
I think it looks like a modern version of the Alpine rally car.
Yes, I can see that
With
they were
those
going for the
fog
rally
lights
car
and all- yeah.
stuff, but it kind of it's got bug eyes to me, but that's just me. Anyway,
I like it.
tell me more about it.
Well, the Alpine is a French car.
Yes, it is.
We know this because Alpine runs in some big name series that you and I both know and love, such as, Formula One. right? And such as, I don't know, the WEC.
The World Endurance Championship.
Yep. So there's some real racing interest into this car. It is a small car. It was designed to compete with kind of like the Porsche Cayman.
Okay.
So this isn't going to be like a Lambo killer.
No.
This is a Cayman killer, right? Mid-engined, rear-wheel drive sports car.
That's a tough act to follow, though.
It is.
'Cause the Cayman's pretty good.
The Cayman is very good at what it does.
Yes.
This Alpine, though, comes with a 1.8-liter turbocharged four-cylinder.
1.8-liter turbocharged 4.
But in all fairness, the current Cayman is a Turbo 4 as well.
Okay.
The current Cayman S and all that, not the GT4, but the current Cayman is also a Turbo 4.
Okay.
So, if you're going apples to apples here, that's a pretty good apples to apples comparison.
Yep.
It did develop, about almost 250 horsepower.
Okay.
And 236 pound-feet of torque. And then I think they did a hotter version of it. They did 288 horsepower and 236, the same amount of torques. But I think they also did a hotter version that had 288 horsepower.
Does it give you a weight?
It does.
Okay.
2,400 and change. So it's pretty light.
So it is light. So it's
my beef with the Alpine is that it only came with a 7-speed auto.
Ooh. Is that a game
beef.
killer for you?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a game killer or not. I still wish they would have brought this over.
Right.
Because it's cool to have in that realm of Cayman competitors.
What's another competitor in that realm?
There's not a lot.
No,
which is why the Cayman does so well.
Yeah.
Because would you like a Cayman or would you like the next thing, which is what?
I don't know. Like in that price range, I don't know.
There's not really a lot.
The
Lotus.
70-ish, right?
Yeah, 70-ish, 80-ish, right? The Lotus.
A sports car in that range.
It was the Lotus Evora. That was pretty much all the other option you had. There wasn't a lot.
Everything else I'm thinking of is just too expensive.
Or it's a completely different kind of car.
Yeah.
It's not a mid-engine sports car rear-wheel drive.
No.
But the Alpine was a cool little car. So I wish they would have brought the Alpine A110 to the US of A.
I do. I like that one. Just looks like a little weird bug thing to me.
So does a Cayman, in all fairness.
Yeah, you could argue that. That is true. Yeah.
But now, do you wish they would have done something?
Yes. So my wife proceeded to run over some living animal or something on the way home today.
Living animal?
Something. I don't know. She doesn't know what she hit. Anyway, what it ended up doing is wrecking the whole inner wheel liner. You know, the plastic shroud that goes around
that
the
always
inside
gets
of the
torn
wheel.
up as soon as any piece of debris
Every single time.
There's always debris that just tears that to pieces.
You can consistently see those just dragging under people's cars.
They make the worst noise too.
Oh, it's terrible.
And you always see the car next to you that has that wrong. You're like, how do you not hear that?
Yes.
Just do something about it. Dear God, rip it off.
Yes. My wife went through a puddle once, and the whole under part, the plastic part, just got shredded to bits, and it was just hanging off. So I wish that they would actually fasten these with more than just a flimsy paper clip, because right now it is like a plastic screw that pops in and out. They're not threaded. They're like these weird clip kind of plastic screws, and those just don't work.
Correct. And they get so dry rotted so quickly.
They're
too.
terrible.
Like they get so heat dry. They just like they become so brittle that if you just look at them in the wrong way, they just like crumble to pieces.
And we live in Florida, and we just heat cycle engines all day, every day.
Pretty much, yeah.
So those take 2 years, and they're toast.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, it's terrible. So I wish that they would actually put these with like proper metal fasteners. Screws would be nice, something like that.
Something to make them so they don't just shred off.
Yes.
In a half a second.
Because it is obnoxious when they shred off, and then they're impossible to replace. You got to get the whole new one with all the new set of everything.
Yeah, you can't just get like a piece of plastic.
No. So I wish they could figure that out.
Quite annoying. I do like your I wish they would have.
Yes.
So in that case, do you have anything else for episode 59, Mr.
I do not.
All right, so that's going to wrap us up then. Thank you all so much for watching and for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave us a thumbs up on this video, and drop a comment. We would love to chat with you here. If you are watching or listening elsewhere, such as your Apple app or Google or Spotify or whatever app they have, leave us a 5-star rating and drop a comment or review. We'd love to cover that on air. And make sure you send us your I wish they would haves via social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website, where you can go back and watch a whole bunch of really cool catalog races, is weareauto.io. And again, thank you all so much for watching and listening, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.